Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of the BTS Bubble. Today we are going to cover a Taekook analysis from the MUSTER 2019 in Busan. So we will talk about moments on the stage and kind of real life analysis and just talk about Taekook and analysis. But before we get into all that fun stuff, I want to put a disclaimer. This podcast is made purely of love for BTS. Here I will talk about my opinions and my love for the Bangtan men. This is an explicit podcast, I don't swear often, but you never know what these men will make me do. If you want to support me and gain access to extra material, feel free to support me on Patreon that is linked below. You can also give a donation on PayPal in the link below. All of this helps me improve the content of this podcast. But for now, let's get it. So I will start to talk about kind of like how I will organize everything. So firstly now I would talk about some kind of like the moments that happened during the musters. And I won't go into it in the like chronological order, if you understand what I mean. Like it will be like bits and pieces of it. I hope you understand what I mean. But first, just with some ground fact. The muster was in Busan during 15th and 16th of June 2019. So now let's get into it. The first moment I want to talk about is Taehyung telling the audience, the armies, that he says, although I'm from Daegu, I am a Busan person at heart. And like for me, I think this really speaks a lot about like him saying this means a lot, because we all know how proud all of the members are from their heritage and their cities and even the country where they come from. So like for him saying this, I really think it means a lot, and I think it means a lot from Jungkook too. So I thought that was very cute. And the next moment I will talk about is kind of like a big moment, I guess we can call it. So they have this segment where Suga kind of plays songs that the member has chosen before. So anyways, Jungkook chose Begin as his song, and he says that this song will impress V. So I don't know if a lot of people know this story about Begin, like, well, maybe it hasn't like a written story in that way, but like I have an analysis on both Begin and Stigma and what those songs kind of mean to Taekook like in that way. So I can make an analysis of that later. But anyways, he says that Begin will impress V. So right, the song starts and they have like this cute moment where they're holding out their like hands to each other, and then they kind of like start dancing. And after all of this, when like the song has ended, Taehyung asks, but why am I supposed to be impressed? And then Taekook says, it has nothing to do with you. And this I also love, because this is them being sarcastic. Like they are kind of making fun. Like they know they can't come out with their relationship, so they're like kind of sarcastic about it, like, no, it has nothing to do with you, of course not, like, why would it have something to do with you? Like kind of that vibe, and I really love that. And then we go on to another moment that happened during the muster, and that is from when they're singing Boy With Love, and Taehyung, when he sings Love Is Nothing Stronger, he puts his hand on Jungkook's shoulder and like looks him in the eyes, and then like Jungkook like to show back to him, he like does this kiss face. I don't know, like as if he would kiss him, like that kind of like a moment. And I mean, they had a lot of moments where they basically just stare at each other. But there was one significant moment. I mean, if you watch the document, the episode notes, you will see it more clearly. But like, basically, like, they kind of like lift their eye, like they are flirting on stage, so they like lift their eyebrows and they just like publicly flirt, like on the stage, like they are in their own bubble, like they don't realize, like I don't think they know that. I think they sometimes forget that there's other people around, so it's just them flirting basically. And then the most significant moment for me on the like on stage, or what to say, is them wearing the marriage threads. So basically they're wearing these threads that are blue and red, and RM is also wearing threads, so it can be kind of like confusing, but RM's threads is like completely red, while Taekook's are red and blue. And as I said, there's a picture in the document. So now you might wonder what's the big deal about this. Like, aren't they just wearing matching couple things as usual? And then my answer to that is no. It's not just them matching couple things as usual. The thing about these threads is that they are blue and red, and in traditional Korean marriages, red and blue are like the colors that are used. So I think like the story originated from like a fairy tale of an old man, and he like tied blue and red like thread to a blue thread to the man and red thread to the woman, and then that made them like a couple. I guess that is kind of the like original story. But also, as you can see in the pictures, they wear like in traditional weddings, they have red and blue handbooks, and also they have like this Saju Danja. Is that what it's called? Saju Danja, which is basically like letters that the groom gives to the wife's family, if you understand what I mean, bride's family. And then they also have let's see here, bujagi, which is like a cloth, like they use to wrap gifts in traditional weddings. And all of these things are red and blue. So all of this really speaks a lot about like marriage, wedding, red and blue, Taekook. Like you can pick the pieces up by yourself. But then why does this all matter? Because well, right now, as I'm speaking, we are in 2021, and I believe that Taekook have married each other a couple of times, because they really are like hopeless romantics, and I think it's like they marry each other a couple of times, like a year, like just them, like having a ceremony. Like I just, that's what I imagine. But if we go back to June 2019, when all of this actually happened, I think it was kind of like a different ceremony. Like maybe there was something like in Busan with Jungkook's family, maybe. I don't know exactly, but like that's just kind of what I speculate, because like I feel like during 2019 they really got more and more like they have gotten more and more serious after each year, so to speak. So like I think that was kind of like an important like milestone in their relationship, like showing armies, like the armies that understand, the armies that knows about Taekook or don't want to like forget about Taekook, the armies that knows about Taekook, they want to like show them like, hey, this is where we are in our relationship, and also to show in the ways they can that they are a couple. Like they're not allowed to show it, so like they're doing their best they can. And also in this, somewhere in this moment, I will talk about this too, because Jimin slaps JK on the butt, and like you can see that Taehyung gets like very obviously, like he, like if you look at his face, he gets very like upset about it, which I understand, because like this moment with Taekook having these marriage threads and actually just like the entire MUSTER, it was really important for them. And I mean, Jimin knows about this, but he kind of still decides to do it, which is also, I would like to remind you, a part of Jimin's friendship, because I can talk about this more in detail, but they have a relationship where, I mean, they love each other to death, like honestly, and they would do anything for each other, but they still like to do these kind of things, like tease each other, and I just think this was one of those moments. And like in this when you watch this, you can see it's all very noticeable, I guess you can call it. So I mean, that was kind of it for the moments that happened during the muster, so to speak, like in the concert. So now let's jump into JK's live, because now it's getting very, very interesting. So Jungkook's V Live. Basically, he's back in the hotel. He's finished the concert and he's back in the hotel. And like right up to now, nothing strange, right? Like it's all normal. But then it all starts, and he plans to drink wine in his V Live. And remember now, when I tell this story and everything, that it is wine. It's not beer. It's not banana milk or soda or anything. It is wine. It's an important thing to remember. So, if you watch the live, you will see that he's not really enjoying his live. Like every time he takes a sip, he makes like a face that he doesn't like it. Like he makes a face and then he kind of like, good, and he like scrunches his entire face. And that's not a face what you do when you feel like it's like when you enjoy the food you're eating. Like we have seen Jungkook eat food and be very pleased by the taste, but this was not one of those moments. And in the beginning of the V Live, he says like, I don't think I ever drank during a V Live. And that is probably correct, you haven't. But he says, but today I'm in a really good mood. And like all of this is basically him trying to convince himself he's in a really good mood. And now you might be asking, but Norea, you said that Taekook were so happy and everything. Why is it strange that he's so happy and drinking wine? I will tell you this. Because when you watch the live, you don't see any hints about Taehyung being there. You don't see anything of his stuff. You don't hear him. You don't see him. Nothing. And if you watch like Jungkook's or Taehyung's live earlier or after, you will all, like, some of you may know that they're often in the same room. Like you hear them talking, you hear them eating, you see their bag. Like it's always something, but here it's nothing. And the thing is, during this night, my analysis is that Taehyung was out drinking wine with his friends. And now I will tell you why I have come to this conclusion. So basically, he has a friend, Taehyung, whose name is, now I will see if I can pronounce it, because I don't want to say it like wrong. But let's see here. Sang-dong-il. And he talks about, like later in the summer of 2019, he says in kind of like an interview, he says that he was filming something in Busan. So he had a glass of wine with Taehyung and Park Bo-gum. And also, if you don't know who Park Bo-gum is, then you have a lot to research, because Bo-gum is quite a sensitive subject when it comes to Taekook in general, and so I can talk about that in another episode too. And also, this June 16th happens to be Park Bo-gum's birthday. So what we know is, when both Taehyung, Sung-dong-il and Bo-gum was in Busan, they had a glass of wine, and we know that Park Bo-gum's birthday is on June 16th. So, like, basically they're out having a drink. And I mean, Then we have Jungkook, like he's trying to tell himself that he's so happy. Like, oh, this is so good. I'm having this real life. Oh, I'm so happy. Everything is great. Wow, Jay. Like, amazing, amazing. Everything's amazing. And he drinks wine. Because, well, Taehyung is out having wine with his friends. So then he's like, well, if you can have wine with your friends, I can have wine with Army. Basically, that is kind of what he's doing. And like, yes, this is a jealous Taekook moment. There's a lot of them, and we all love them, and we think they're cute. So basically, that's it. But like, he also goes on to like, he looks at the wine, like the glass of wine, and he really doesn't enjoy it, like, at all. And he even grabs an apple, and like, after he's drank the wine, he's so fast, he's taking a bite of the apple so he can wash the wine down, because he doesn't like it. So, I mean, why would he do this if he doesn't like wine? Why do he do this? But he does it because he's jealous and Taekook is out having wine with his friends. So, I mean, I guess all of this, like, I hope I explained it to you, like, clearly. Like, if you watch the episode notes, it will be much more clear to understand what I mean. But basically, that's it. Like, today, I will do it I will summarize it in the end, because I still have some things to talk about. So, what I need to talk about also is that this is not, well, that time was not the first time Jungkook did this kind of thing. I will mention some other moments where Taehyung has been hanging out with his friends, and then Jungkook has posted something on the same day. So the first moment is when Sojun posted a picture of him and Taehyung hanging out in a pool. And after that, Jungkook posted a video of him singing IU's song ending scene. And I will not read you the entire song, but I will just read some verses. So now I will start. Hello, it's been a while. There's no question mark in your eye. You know what? No. You know what? I can't read the lyrics, so just look it up yourself. But basically, it's very dramatic. Like, very, very dramatic. And I mean, he has chosen this dramatic and very expressive song. So, he posted at the same day, like right after Sojun has posted this picture. So again, this kind of jealous moment. And then we have another moment where Taehyung posted on Twitter that he was again hanging out with his friends. And then right after, not exactly right after, but after, Jungkook posted a tiny video of him kind of just saying hello, which is also like right after, like he has to do it the same day. And then we have the last moment, which is, and this is 29th of August, 2019, yes. And then Taehyung posted that he was hanging out again with his friends. And then Jungkook posted a selfie of him. And to the picture, he kind of said, Army, how are you doing? I am having a very happy day. And I mean, this is kind of the same thing like he did in the real life. Like, he's convincing himself that everything is great and everyone needs to know how happy he is. Like, he needs to tell everyone how happy he is when Taehyung is out hanging out with his friends. So I mean, all of this is just so cute and adorable moments. And I mean, Jungkook is not the only one that's jealous in this relationship. We all know that. But now this incident, or what you will call it, all of this was Jungkook being jealous. But I will summarize everything for you, so it might seem a bit more clear. So now let's summarize. So, to summarize all this, because there have been quite a lot of things I've talked about here. So these 2 days were very active with Taekook. They had a lot of interaction on stage and also with his marriage threads for me. For me, it talks about them being even more serious with their relationship. And all of this with Jungkook's real life is just like a classic jealous Taekook moment. And I want to remind you that this is my analysis and take on these 2 days. And I really love doing this kind of analysis episode, so I would love to do it another analysis episode, both on Taekook or maybe Hopemin, because you know I'm a Hopemin supporter too, or just the entire group in general, like so fun. So if you have like any moment that you want me to analyze, or if you have, oh my god, this iconic Taekook moment where they at this, can you make an episode about this, or oh my god, do you remember that Hopemin moment, talk about this. Just anything you have, just please contact me and I would love to check it out and try to do it the best I can. So just promise me that if you have any moment, just like contact me, please. So thank you so much for joining me in this lovely episode of the BTS Bubble. I will be back next week with another fun episode, so make sure you don't miss out. In the meantime, you can follow me on the BTS Bubble 7 on Instagram and Twitter, which is linked below. I post daily, so make sure you don't miss out. See you next week!